Hey guys, Emiliano here. Welcome back to my channel. This is just a quick update because after a few months that many of us, music teachers and musicians, creators, artists, anything that is working within the music industry, I think had to in some ways move on to some online and digital platforms for keep sharing and keep creating their content. In this case, I refer particularly to the music teaching field, and even more, I refer to any instrumental tutor that might be interested in to get the best audio options for Zoom when it comes to deliver online lessons. So I made a video like this one back in March. There should be some link popping up right up here now. And this is just a quick refresh because in the meantime Zoom had been updated several times. So let's start with the tablet version of Zoom. Okay, so let's jump straight into the app. And what you need to look for is the settings gear icon that you should find at the bottom left side of your screen. So we enter that, and you need to go into the meetings section. First thing I recommend you to do is to get into the auto connect to audio menu, and if you haven't yet, just make sure that you got use internet selected. Reason being that this should be the quickest way for you to start your meeting with the proper audio settings to start with. But then the main thing that you need to look for is to scroll down till you find the voice use original sound. Make sure that you enable that option. So if you haven't, just make sure that you just push on the selector for use original sound, so that, as they say just below, original sound will turn off noise suppression. So you need to have this option enabled once you got into a meeting. Alright, so now let's open a new meeting and let's see how this can work. I'm gonna start a new meeting, and now you need to look for the more option menu that you should find on the top right side. Okay, if you got the use original sound enabled into the settings menu, you should now find this voice enable original sound, and you need to make sure that you click on it, and now you're good to go. Let's move now to the mobile phone version of Zoom. So the process for the mobile version of Zoom is going to be exactly the same as it was for the tablet version. Let's get into it. Okay, so once we are into the app, we should find again the meetings menu. Same thing as we did before, make sure that you got the auto connect to audio with use internet as the main option selected, and then scroll down till you find use original sound again. Okay, as we said for the tablet version, make sure that you got that option enabled. So now let's open a new meeting and let's make sure that we got the original sound enabled. I'm gonna start a new meeting. And now once I'm into the room, what I need to look for is on the bottom right side, at least in this moment that I'm holding my mobile in a landscape, sorry, in a portrait. And again, make sure that you push on the enable original sound option. Okay, so select that, and now you're good to go. So the laptop and desktop version of the app gives you the more flexibility in terms of audio settings for sure. First thing, we need to enter the settings menu, so just look for the gear icon on the right side, on the top right side of the screen, and then make sure that you enter the audio menu. First thing you want to do is to make sure that if you have the automatically adjust microphone volume enabled, you need to disable that and make sure that you just push the input volume all the way on the right side. The second thing you want to do is to make sure that the suppressed background noise is set on low level. Usually you find it on the auto. You don't want to do that. You want to get the low option. If you keep scrolling down, you'll find the advanced option. You want to click onto that. Again, quick check, the echo cancellation has to be an auto rather than aggressive. And then here's the main thing down here, show emitting option to enable original sound from microphone. You definitely want to have this one enabled, right? So make sure that's ticked. And now I do not recommend to opt in the disable echo cancellation, just because, as they mentioned in the little help guide here, basically this disables the zoom echo cancellation algorithms. I think this could work if you are actually teaching on Zoom using one of those headphones and microphone sets that basically prevent you from any sort of feedback that you might get from your speakers going into the mic. But I think that most of the times a music teacher, an instrumental teacher particularly, is probably more used to have like a panoramic microphone, or anyway something that is catching up the sound of the room, rather than working with a strict headphones and microphone setup. So just leave it as it is. Then the second option you got there is high fidelity music mode. If you have a quite recent computer, I think you should definitely keep this one enabled. And the last option, use stereo audio. Again, if you have quite a good microphone setup and you know that you actually have these kind of features at your disposal, then definitely keep this option enabled. I'm leaving that enabled just because, as you might remember from one of my previous tutorial on Zoom, I'm actually using a sort of a software mixer so that I can get into the meetings different audio inputs. Microphone that I'm using right now, which is an Audio Technica one, but then I'm also sending any guitar signal that I'm using from my sound card and an external amplifier that I have in my home studio. So it's a little bit more complicated, but this is probably the very least a problem that you should have now. Okay, so once we got the enable original sound option ticked into this menu, we can get back to the main settings menu, getting actually out of it. And now let's see what's going on when we enter new meetings. Okay, don't care about this screen that you got here. It's just because I'm not actually using my usual camera for Zoom, so that's why now this software at the moment is looking for that, but don't care about that. The only thing I want to share with you now is that now that I got the original sound option enabled in the menu, I have the chance here to turn off or on original sound into the meeting, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. So this is it, guys. At this point you should be able to set up properly your Zoom app, no matter if you're working on a tablet, a mobile phone, or a laptop or desktop computer, and you should be able to provide the best audio quality to your students, or the other way around, your teacher should be able to hear properly any notes, any chord, any strumming that you are actually performing on your instrument during an online lesson. So this is it for today, guys. If you like this video, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.